Another world, another war. Same stuff, different day. But we endure, because our liberty and our freedom depend on us diving back into hell. Welcome to the SES Emperor of Democracy, cadets. My name is Admiral Commissar Kai, and today I'm going to be walking you through how to solo Helldive missions. This time it'll be against the bots. Command has been reporting a shocking number of new martyrs on the bot front, so they gave me the task of getting you all up to speed on how to put down the bot menace. There's a wide range of weapons that are combat effective against the bots, but today we're going to be rocking with the R63 Diligence, our trusty P4 Senator, stun grenades for the big boys, and the new love of my life, the AC-8 autocannon. For additional support, we're bringing our girl, Eagle 1, loaded to bear with high explosives. For additional support, we'll be calling in the orbital laser for those big SOBs or any detector towers, mortar pits, anti-air defenses that happen to get in our way. Now that you know the loadout, let's drop into combat. Now, dropping in solo into a Helldive mission does come with certain hazards. We're not going to be pansy-footing our way through this mission. We're going to be fighting the bots as much as we can, but we do need to fight smart. You'll see here at the start, I quickly lay down prone before putting down some suppressing fire on these bots over here. But really what I'm trying to do is get them to call in that bot drop. This is because I want that bot drop to happen not in the area I want to operate in. I want to have that bot drop be called in and then have the enemies just be wandering around doing nothing while I'm over here just wrecking their shit. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go find ourselves some cover. We're going to take out these fabricators one by one with the autocannon, and we're just going to keep moving on with our day. Now, one thing I would say that is fairly important is when you're diving solo, you've got very limited access to stratagems. So try not to use those stratagems unless it's absolutely necessary. I could be calling in Eagle 1 here to deal with these quickly, but ammo is cheap. Eagle 1 is not. So that's what we're going to do, even if my aim in hindsight is somewhat atrocious. I want to clear out anybody that's got eyes on us before we get moving. We don't want the bots to know where we are. We're going to go ahead and take out the remaining bits of these factories again as soon as I can frickin' aim. I don't know what the hell happened here, guys. I'm sorry. It was just the democracy had me and I didn't know what to do. Now, unfortunately, this last fabricator, it's not facing the right direction. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to throw an eagle at it. So we're going to get a little bit closer, chuck that eagle in, and then just keep moving on to the next objective. But the main reason we cleared this out is we dropped right next to it. So we don't want to have a bunch of bots spawning behind us when we're trying to do the actual mission. So yeah, we're going to call in Eagle 1, just deal with that quickly. I don't want to deal with the bot drop that got called in at the start, and I want to make enough distance between me and the enemy so that, you know, I don't get shot to pieces. So now we're checking our map, and I noticed that there is a bot fabricator down there, but I would much rather go clear out the primary mission area. This is really important to do when you're solo, because if you leave these bots here, you might be rushed for time at the end, you might, you know, get caught up with some other kind of fighting. So by getting all the bots out of this area before we do the main objective, it's going to pay off later on in the mission. Just not having anything here, knowing it's safe, is going to be really important, because the longer the clock goes down, the more enemies spawn. And I don't know if this is exactly how it works, but it also seems to be the quality of the enemies goes up pretty substantially as the mission continues on. Now that we've cleared out most of the enemies here, I'm just doing a quick sweep, make sure I didn't miss anybody, and then we're going to go look for that dissonant broadcast over there. I'm going to let them know what Freedom thinks of their ideas. But first, you know, again, make sure it's safe, clear everything out, and then we move on to the next objective.
Tagging map, southeast, 200 meters.
Now, as soon as I'm able to draw a bead on this, dissonant nonsense, I do see in the distance there are 2 gunship towers. Now, that is a very large cause for concern when you're playing solo. It can be relatively easy to deal with, but, if something goes wrong, you're going to end up with a ton of gunships, and your run might be over pretty quickly. But I see the bot drop called in. I want to clear out my right side so I have somewhere to go and some way to get close to the air tower. So we go ahead and clear these dudes out. Now that we cleared the area and we could easily get to near the bot tower without getting spotted, we're going to have to start fighting these gunships. As soon as they spawn, they will know exactly where you're at. And normally they don't take that many shots, but I didn't get my recaf today, and I was just missing. I don't know. I'm bad, y'all. What do you want me to say? But I promise, the aim does get better as the game goes on. These gunships will die pretty quickly if you hit them in the engine. It only takes 2 autocannon shots to down one of the gunships. There's other weapons that are significantly better at killing these. There's even some primaries that are pretty good at killing them. But, if you're using the autocannon, like I like to, it's 2 shots to the engine. Otherwise, I don't know how many shots it takes to the body. It's a lot. Another little thing that I've noticed in my many Helldives is that if you shoot, you need to shoot at the same engine compartment. If you shoot at different ones, it doesn't quite count for some reason. I don't get it. Bots are just really good at building dumbass aircraft, I suppose. As soon as I saw those rockets through the smoke and those dropships coming in, I knew I could not just run forward. I would die 100% of the time. And I also see that I'm low on stems. My autocannon's kind of low on ammo from the backpack, so I'm doing a little bit of a fight and retreat here. We're going to go back up a little bit, resupply, and then we'll go back in. Now, some of y'all might be saying, but Commissar, why aren't the bots still shooting at you? Well, it's because I broke their line of sight. If they can't see you, they don't have a direct shot at you, and they can't do that for long enough, they will eventually lose interest.
Warning, you are leaving the mission area.
Now, right after killing both these gunships, I do make kind of a grave error. I decide to reload in the open, which immediately gets me killed. Now, I wanted to show y'all that even the best of us die sometimes in this game. It does happen. I could curate this and show you runs where I don't die once, but I figured showing you a run with a death might, get you to know the art through the mistakes, if that makes sense. But we recover pretty quickly. We drop right on the things that killed us, we grab our stuff, and we get back to it. We got a gunship tower to destroy, and there's not honestly a whole lot of bots between us and that.
Sub-objective near your location.
Now it's right here. I don't know if you can see it on the left-hand side of the screen, but I noticed something truly horrific. There is another gunship factory just off to my left. So after I blow this one up, I'm gonna have to blow that one up too. But it'll be a relief when there's no more gunships on the map. I haven't seen more than probably 3 spawn on a single map, but it can happen. You'll see that little look there I did was just a liberty saved me. You know, there's not much I like more than blowing up a gunship factory. But you know what you should like? This video. And leave a subscription if you're enjoying the content so far. I do appreciate it and it helps the channel grow a little bit bigger. If you do subscribe, I promise to do my best to bring you both educating and entertaining Helldivers 2 content, both solo and in a team. So yeah, let's get back to the game. We got stuff to blow up. Now right here, I see the super sample rock, y'all. I want to get it. I'm going to throw Eagle at it. I run over, and I see a big-ass patrol coming with a Hulk. And I don't want to fight here in the open with no cover, so I'm sorry. I'm not getting the super samples. I've been capped on them forever. So if you're in my games, if I'm queuing up with a squad, I will risk life and limb to get you those super samples, but there's no point. I'm capped on them. I don't need them. So I'm sorry if it hurts your soul. It hurts my soul too. But we're going to have to do without. Especially with this commie bastard floating up in the sky, getting ready to fill me with holes. So we're going to take them out real quick. I'm not going to be able to go for the gunship factory directly, but there is a reason for this. I don't want to go to it too quickly because it's only one, so it's only going to spawn one gunship at a time. Maybe it can spawn two, I don't know. I've never seen that happen, but I'm not worried about one gunship at a time. I can kill that, no problem. So we're going to do the primary objective first, then we're going to go do that, and then we're going to go finish off that fabricator that I missed. I'm kind of looking at the map being like, damn it, I didn't actually kill all the fabricators, so we're going to have to run back there. It's kind of frustrating, but that's what you get when you're playing by yourself. The only reason I'm shooting these little guys over here is I really don't want them to call another bot drop in. There was a bot drop just called to my left, so it's still on cooldown for now, but I don't want to risk it, so I'm just going to kill him. Now here, I hear that Hulk step on that freezy thing, so I'm going to go over and kill it, because this is the jerk that prevented us from getting the super samples. He's been following us the entire time. So now that he's dead, we can go ahead and do the objective without much more issue. You know, there's this little dude, but that's what the senator's for. Now again, because I really don't want a bot drop called in while I'm trying to go towards this gunship factory, I don't really care if it gets called in once I'm there, but I don't want a bot drop between me and the factory, because if that happens, it's going to be really hard for me to actually get to it with the gunships constantly spawning, dealing with the enemies that were dropped off, all that stuff. So I'm going to be killing all these little bots just to make sure that they don't call anything in. Thankfully they didn't hit that hell bomb behind me. But yeah, anyway, we'll just kill these guys off real quick and make our way across.
Sub-objective in your vicinity.
Say hello to democracy!
Hell bomb. Request approved. On its way now.
Alright, so here you can see that little dude just called up another bot drop, and unfortunately that is the direction I wanted to go. So this is going to make things a little bit harder, but what we're going to do is we're going to just get a little bit of distance. We'll just play with line of sight, and we're going to try to just make sure they can't see us, and hopefully they'll de-aggro. If they didn't de-aggro, I would just do the same thing. I would just run a different direction until eventually I lost track of them, because there's no way I can fight straight through all that stuff by myself. It'd be real. I mean, I probably could do it, but it'd take a long time to do, and it's gonna run the clock out quite substantially. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna circle around the back, finish off that last fabricator, and then make our way towards the last few objectives. Now that we've dealt with that last fabricator, we just circled around it and we're heading towards the next objective. But as I'm trying to resupply, these stupid commie bastards start dropping mortars on me. And I just used an orbital laser to try to make some space for myself. So I'm going to have to go deal with it personally. So we're going to resupply up, we're going to clear out the main objective of all the bad guys, and then we're going to go deal with that arty. We don't want to be having, you know, bombs dropping on our head while we're trying to realign a radar. Now I'm out of the effective range of the mortar pit. It's not going to be able to shoot me anymore, so I can feel a little bit safer. So I'm taking my time, I'm looking around, I'm seeing what's coming, and as I turn the corner here, I'm going to see a tower off in the distance. Now this might seem a little odd to y'all that don't do this very often, but if you have a chance to kill a tower, kill it, because they might just wreck your shit at some point when you're not expecting it, so kill them as soon as you can. We take out the rest of the enemies here, get rid of that rocket devastator. Now Eagle One's about to do us a huge favor, thank you. But she's going to be taking out the whole mortar pit. Now if she didn't do that, I would just shoot it with the autocannon, whatever she didn't kill. But thankfully she handled it like, you know, the classy woman that she is. Now all that's left is this one last big bot fabricator, and then we got to go do the main objective. So I'll just let y'all enjoy me shooting vents for a few minutes. Now, the keen-eyed among you might notice I really don't fight unless I have to. It's not because I'm a coward, far from it. I will throw down if I need to, but when you're soloing Helldive, fighting the enemies is really fighting the clock. The more I fight, the lower the clock's going to get, and that means that, you know, my time to finish everything is going to get shorter and shorter. And sometimes on these missions, when there's a lot to do, it just takes a long time, and that means you got to cut time somewhere. So the best place to do that is just don't fight the enemy whenever you can avoid it. But when you have to fight, you know, do it quickly and viciously. Don't show any mercy, throw everything you got, especially if you're in a tight spot, and just make sure they're dead before you move on. Now this is as good a time as any to give y'all a little bit of advice. With fabricators specifically, you can tell if they're still there by the smoke coming out of the vents. You'll be able to see it from a pretty good distance away before you can even really make out that the fabricator is there. But because I noticed the smoke, I realized that Eagle One kind of, she whiffed a little bit. So I'm going to have to take care of it, deal with this Hulk, and then we'll finish off the last fabricator. And for any of y'all wondering, why aren't you on fire? Why aren't you dead? That was really close. Well, when you dive, you're kind of immune to fire damage. Now, if that stream hits you directly, it will still hurt, but you are immune to being burning while you are diving. So, for anybody that didn't know that, it has saved my life on countless runs. So, just make sure, if you're on fire, remember that old saying. Stop, drop, and roll. Or in this case, stop, drop, and dive the fuck to the ground. We got one more little doohickey to figure out here. I don't know what kind of thing this is. It's some kind of satellite thing. They want me to establish communication uplink. So we got to do one more of these, but, you know, I've already showed you how to do it. It's not complicated. One thing I will say, though, is while I'm here, I see right behind it, I'm like, wait a second, what is that? Well, it's a radar station. So we're going to tackle both of these at the same time. Well, not the same time, but we're going to do them one after another. And then we're going to head to the primary objective. Now I hear those bots chanting behind me, so I know that they're kind of close, so I'm going to make sure that I don't draw their attention. We're just going to grab our resupply, go do the, what's it called? The radar station. Oh, and also, I don't know why, sometimes this particular established communication uplink, it bugs out occasionally, and you don't actually need to put the SSSD in it. SSSD? Sometimes you don't actually need to put it in. I don't know why, it's just a bug that happens. Just, you know, deal with it. Now, radar stations, for those of you that are not accustomed to playing by yourself, it might seem kind of annoying, but there's a little bit of a trick to it. You don't actually have to look at the screen to figure out where to point the radar dish. You just turn it until you hear the beep. Once you hear the beep, it's good to go, so you can just stop turning it and go turn it the hell on. Alright, I've skipped a good deal of me running, but we're getting a little bit closer to the main objective. I see a patrol here, and they actually spot me briefly. Seeing as that light lights up, that means they've seen you. So one of them is going to come inspect where I was. So I want to make sure I crouch, use that little bit of sneaking to get out of the area. I do not want to fight these guys right here. They might call a bot drop. I spent all that time clearing it out just to avoid this. Thankfully, they might even path towards where they thought I was and not come near this, because this is going to be a hell of an objective to have to do by yourself. We're going to have to do basically a shuttle run. We're going to be running between doors, letting the super citizens out. I don't know why they call them super citizens if their life is only worth 25 requisition, but, you know, whatever. So I don't question orders, I just follow them. Anyway, I'm taking a look. I'm trying to formulate a game plan here, and honestly, I'll be real with y'all, I didn't know where the console was on this particular map. So we turn it on, and I'm looking at that door. I see that door. I'm like, alright, I know what I need to do. We're going to need to do about 5 to 6 shuttle runs here of just letting these dipshits out so they can get on the dropship before me. I don't know why I can't get on the dropship too, given that the mission is over as soon as this is over. But, you know, again, super Earth's orders. We follow orders here. So I'm going to save y'all the trouble of watching me do this over and over again. We'll get to the exciting part. Y'all didn't miss much, but I did hear the chanting getting stronger and stronger, and I've been checking my radar, and right then I see the bots like rush forward, and that means that they are active. They are going to try to kill me and the super citizens. So yeah, we're going to take them out real quick. I managed to stop that bot drop, but another one's going to get called in here in a second. And so now, if y'all remember what I told you before, if you got to fight, do it viciously, do it fast, and with overwhelming force. Well, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to wait right here. Now I see the bot drop coming in. I'm going to count to 3. As soon as they drop down, Eagle 1's going to go pay him a visit. Now I also see that tank, and I'm not in a good position to deal with it, especially with that Hulk coming near me. So I'm going to throw an orbital laser. Make sure they are dead, especially in this part of the objective. This would be a really easy place to fail the objective now. Don't mind me, I just, you know, tripped a little bit and need to take a little brief rest. But now that laser cannon's dealt with it, killed the Hulk and the tank, we're good to go. And we just got one more, I think, shuttle run to do. So yeah, let's see what happens. Now I hear the chanting again. I don't see them close. I think they're on the other side of that wall over there. But just remember, when the bots are chanting, they don't know you're there yet. They are walking towards you, but they're not alerted. So you don't gotta panic. Don't fall for their freedom-hating bullshit. They are trying to scare you. Don't let them do that. Don't let this chant follow you into your nightmares or anything crazy like that. Just make some distance, make sure the super citizens are safe, and get the hell out.
Democracy has been well delivered. May your extraction be swift.
So we've made our way to the extract, and as far as I can tell, it's pretty much clear. This is probably best case scenario for us. We really don't want this to be populated while we're trying to extract. I think I might have checked it earlier and cut it out of the video. I don't remember, but I was checking my radar and I didn't see nothing. So we're gonna go ahead and call in that extract. I call down the supply, I call down another autocannon just in case I die. And yeah, we're gonna hold out as best we can. We got, what is it, 3 minutes? And I do see a patrol right there. Now, when you call in the extract, this is something the game does not tell you, but the bots will go towards you even if they don't see you. Like, I see another big-ass patrol over there. I know there's a patrol on my right, so I'm trying to just stall for time as long as I can before they're finally alerted and start shooting at me. But as you can see, they do not know where I am, but they keep walking towards me. This is what happens when you call in an extract. They will hunt you down. You cannot hide from them. So don't try to like prone in a corner or anything. It will not work. They will find you eventually. So instead, again, viciously, we're going to throw everything we got at them, fight as hard as we can, and pray like hell to Liberty herself that we're going to make it out of here. But I'm just going to shut the hell up and let y'all enjoy this because this got kind of close. And there y'all have it. One solo Helldive with the autocannon and no stealth armor. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have anything that you'd like to see in the future, please leave it in the comments. I also really do appreciate feedback of any variety. If you hated something, let me know. If you love something, let me know. I try to reply to every single comment as fast as I can. But yeah, thanks for sticking all the way to the end. We got an outstanding patriotism, as you can see. All side objectives completed, all main objectives completed. We only had one death. Pretty good run. Not perfect, made a lot of mistakes. Pretty good run though. Well anyway, that's been Commissar Kai. Hope you enjoyed it.